Hey guys, this is Sam from the Privateers team. So in this video we're going to go over how to use dialogue, giving characters dialogue in a scene in order to do some new interesting things. So let's jump right into it. So I'm just going to make us a little test event. So I'm going to click New Event. I'm going to call it Dialogue Test. And I'm just going to fill in garbage for the tooltip and the tavern. And then I'm just going to add a start dialogue and a response. And the dog will say, "Who is that?" The response can say, "Let's go check." Okay, so this is just a really simple event. But now I'm going to add a prop into this event, which is just going to be the small ship. And I'm add a character. And the character I'm going to set to be a merchant. And I'm going to make his orientation neutral. Okay, so now there's going to be another ship that has one guy on it who's neutral, and he's a merchant. Okay, so there's the start of my event. But I want this guy to say something. So I'm going to go up to the top again, and I'm going to click this new dialogue. This is going to give me what's called a character dialogue. This is a conversation that you're having with the character. And here, I'm going to go ahead and give some text. What do you want? And then you can add a response. And now after this, it's just like the normal events you've configured before. All the things that you can do in those normal events, you can do here. So you can add enemies, you can do all the different actions, you can have different responses and probabilities, everything that we've talked about already. So, one response could be nothing, and then we could add another response, which could be something like, "Tell me about yourself." Now this is red because I need to give it a name. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go back up to this merchant, and he has there's a name field here. I'm going to name the merchant. I'll name him Bill. And then here I'm going to call this Bill Talk 1. And then we can copy this. You need the name that you put in the character dialogue to be the dialogue that you give to this character. So now you see his name's Bill, and I gave him Bill Talk 1 as a dialogue, and he's neutral. If he wasn't neutral, you wouldn't be able to talk to him. Okay, so here's our super simple dialogue event which we've created. So let's go ahead and save it, and let's see what it looks like in game. So let's bring out Privateers. And test event, start. Okay, so we have another ship in the scene, and when we come over here, there's a guy on it, and he's got this talkie bubble. You can see his name's Bill. When I click on him,
Hello.
What do you want? Nothing, or tell me about yourself, right? So there we go. We have a simple dialogue that we've put into this scene. So now we can do a couple more tricky things. So, for instance, in this response, "Tell me about yourself," or in the nothing, let's add an action result here. And now there's several action results that are specific for the person you're having a dialogue with. And they're these ones that start with dialogue owner. Let's see if we can make this a little wider so we can read it. So you can change him out for a new dialogue. You can change his orientation, make him hostile, or turn him into a crewmate. You can remove the dialogue so we no longer talks. You can allow him to be hired or show that he's a merchant. And you can unbind him if he was trapped. So the main ones are going to be changing the dialogue or changing orientation probably. So let's show change orientation to hostile. So now he'll attack if I pick this nothing option. I can do another example here. Add action result. Stretch this out a bit. And here we can change dialogue. And now we can create a new dialogue. We can call it Bill 2. We can give it the event text. I have something new to tell you. Then add a response. Okay. And then you can, add another dialogue. Here it is. And, you can do anything you want, right? So I can add an award in this too and say, like, I'm going to give you a gold award. And then add a response. Thanks, right? And then a typical thing to do after something like this, where I got an award, is then I would add an action result, and I would say dialogue owner.remove dialogue. Right. Otherwise, I could just keep clicking on this guy and getting a gold reward. So then we want to remove this dialogue so he doesn't talk anymore. Okay. And like I said, everything that you can do in the normal event path, you can do here. So I can have an action result that adds enemies or even branches you to a new event, whatever. So another thing to mention is that the type should be basic. Otherwise, and it should be allow random false. Otherwise, there's some special cases where if you don't set these to basic and allow random false, then it might get picked up in other places of the game automatically. So just keep those the same. Okay, so I'm going to save this. Let's go ahead and go test and see how it works. Let's launch Privateers. So run the test event. I'm going to head over here and talk to him.
Hello.
So now I'm going to say, tell me about yourself. That did not work. What went wrong? Oh, you know what went wrong? I did change dialogue and I didn't give it a new dialogue, the name. I need to put Bill 2 here to tell it what I want it to change to. Okay, so that's why that didn't work. So let's run the test event again and show the top option, which he should attack me. It's dark now. He should attack me if I do that. So nothing. Okay, and then he becomes a bad guy, right? So that's working. Save and exit. Okay, let's just do one more quick test here. Now that we fixed that dialogue node. And test event. Okay. So let's head over here. Let's talk to him and take the bottom one. And now when we talk to him again, now he's got something new to tell us because it changed. And here we go. We got a whole bunch of gold. Okay. 100 was not the right number to put there. I should have put 1. But we got gold. We say thanks. And now the dialogue's gone. It got removed, right? So everything's working how we expected. So that's how you can add characters with dialogues and have the dialogues affect your event in some way. This is a good way to, make the storytelling a bit more immersive since it's actually happening with characters who are in the scene. All right, thanks a lot for watching, guys.